Hello, Michael Pascoe. It's Friday, March 22, the end of a week of political fast that shook the markets. No, not Canberra, Cyprus. Canberra barely worries the markets at all. The government has become a foregone conclusion. Aside from the Labor Party follies, we've had sharply contrasting retail stories, Westpac increasing its 2-year fixed loan rate, an important bit of perspective from the Reserve Bank, and a heightening of commodity price speculation. But let's start with just a very brief word about the federal budget. I promise it'll be brief. After yesterday's circus, the Federal Labor Party knows it has a little less than 6 months left in power, even with Tony Abbott as opposition leader. That becomes a major test of character. Just how will the government behave as the ship goes down? Stand bravely by while the band plays Nearer My God, or make an unseemly dash for the ship's safe and the lifeboats? The incredibly dumb double act by Conroy and Gillard on media law reform suggests they'll just run about as headless chooks. But the real test will be the budget Wayne Swan delivers on May 14. Yes, Prime Minister Gillard has been looking after a few of the union mates who gave her the job, but not too much damage has been done. The danger on the second Tuesday in May is what landmines might be set for the next administration in terms of spending commitments and programs. It's easy to make promises when you know you won't be around to have to keep them. It promises to be the most interesting budget in years, and the lobbying by various vested interests is well underway. The little fiddling or not fiddling with the Fair Work Act is often cited as a case of looking after the mates, but some of the business lobby screaming is a little theatrical. Take Solly Lou's Premier Investments. CEO Mark McInnes, the bloke who used to be at David Jones, went over the top with claims about the government taking retail back to the 1950s by maintaining penalty rates. Mark might not know it, but Sunday penalty rates weren't a problem in the 1950s. Shops weren't open. Yes, the penalty rate system has become an anachronism, but Premier doesn't have a lot of credibility. You might remember Chairman Solly Lou warning of the death of capitalism if GST wasn't levied on online shopping. Well, Premier this week reported a 21% increase in interim profit as it benefits from the necessary restructuring the country is experiencing. Something comes to mind about a boy who cried wolf. Then there was David Jones reporting another profit fall as it continues to struggle with the 21st century and consumers who demand value, or at least a good time. Part of Paul Zara's problem at DJ's is the investment required to bring it up to speed after the previous administration skimped. The 21-year-old point-of-sale system is an example. Skimping on investment provides short-term profits and longer-term problems. Hope there was none of that in Premier's results. Meanwhile, down at the casino that is commodity price gambling, the gold bugs are rejoicing in the yellow metal hitting a 1-month high. And gee, that means it's only down 1.5% over the past year. The gold bubble hasn't burst yet, though. That will require an outbreak of rational economics in the G7. As Morgan Stanley's Gerard Minnock observes, a return to normalcy would mean gold is toast, but we're still a long way from normal. In the meantime, the bigger game is the price of rust, what iron ore might be worth. There is an enormous range of guesses on the table, with Fortescue at the high end, some headline-seeking analysts at the extremely low end, and BHP around the middle. The middle would seem most reasonable, but on quiet days, expect to continue to see extreme forecasts trotted out. Just remember the performance of the panic merchants last year. At the other extreme, RBA Deputy Governor Philip Lowe provided some very worthwhile perspective about the state of our economy in a speech that's worth reading in full on the RBA website. Most people would not have seen beyond the headline that the strong dollar was good for us, but there is more to it than that. It's no comfort for those on the painful front line of our restructuring, but our currency and the recovery of household saving have indeed been highly beneficial. Despite our politics, we remain a very lucky country, and not in the way Donald Horne intended. And we're certainly not Cyprus. Talk to you Monday.